All right, everybody. This next video is going to be something that I've seen a lot on forums and Facebook groups and just talking story with people. People are always wondering what's a good Ulua headlight to use for Ulua fishing. It always comes up. There's always sort of like the same headlights that are popping up, similar models that are popping up. And I wanted to sort of grab a bunch of these models, these lights that a lot of people use, that I've come across, some of the lights that I've used that I've come across, some of the lights that I own, and do a little review. And the idea is that it's a video review to sort of like encompass majority of the lights that you're going to find or that will be suitable for our style of fishing, and it'll be all in one, so you don't have to go to individual sites to look at this light and then go to some other site to look at this light. And you can kind of just, I'm going to go show you a whole bunch of them. I'm going to run through them, I'm going to operate them, I'm going to run through the specs. I'm not going to say which ones are better or worse. It's not about that. I'm not trying to say like this is the best one ever or this is the worst one ever. But I'll give like some impressions or some observation, some notes on some observations or impressions that I've had with these lights before, or my friends have had with these lights before. So it'll be a good review to encompass a lot of these different brands and models within the brands. So some of the brands we're going to cover are going to be Fenix. That light is sold locally down here, or you can also buy it online. Another brand is Princeton Tech. They make a pretty good model that is usually sold down here that you can pick up down here in the fishing stores. Another brand is Coast, although I couldn't find the exact Coast model, so I'm going to go off of what's online. I haven't particularly used this Coast model, but I've seen Coast headlights used in the past. And the other brand that we're going to cover is Lupine, which I have a bunch of experience in, and we're going to go over a couple of models with Lupine. So Lupine, Coast, Fenix, Princeton Tech, that's going to be some of the lights we're going to cover in this video. The criteria for this video, because obviously this is not going to be every headlight on the internet or in your hardware store or whatever. I went off of what I felt was most suitable for the intermediate to advanced Ulua fishermen. You know, if you're just going to be bait casting on the side of the road with a spinner, you know, you can get by with any old headlight. If you're going to be fishing off of a cliff and you're going to be slide gaffing large Uluas off of cliffs, you need bright firepower on your head to help turn fish. That's what this is about. So more of the sort of the a little bit above average, a little bit above average to kind of hardcore Ulua fishermen, what you might use for your fishing. So the criteria is basically that I'm going to be looking at stuff that is 500 lumens or above. Anything under 500 max, like if their max power for the light is like 350 lumens, that's not enough for me. You know, I can't shine down a 30, 40 foot cliff with that kind of firepower. I'm not going to turn a fish with that kind of firepower. So I'm looking at 500 lumens at least. Obviously LED. Gone are the days of halogen. Halogen is sort of like non-existent anymore. You know, before, way back when, you used to have the big pack with like the 4D battery pack or whatever, or you'd have that big square battery and have the giant reflector, and it was like this massive halogen light. Well, we don't need those anymore because LEDs the technology is so advanced. They're more powerful, they're more efficient. The one downside is some guys do like the yellow light in certain types of applications, they prefer that yellowy halogen light versus the white light. But other than that, we're going to be looking at LED lights and lights that the battery pack is on the headband itself. Some of these lights we're going to look at, you can have an optional battery pack that can go down to your waist or whatever. But I wanted to kind of keep it simple to headlights that just had the battery pack. It was all self-contained on your head. You didn't have to run it in a jacket or anything like that. So obviously we're not going to have all the lights on the internet, right? This is just a few that I've owned, that my friends have owned. We've found some of these in local fishing shops. We've purchased these down here. These are some that, I've seen used down here. I've also seen a lot of other lights that have been used by other people that I'm not going to cover. There's some, they call them like LED lenser or the that LED lenser or Coast. They make some sort of cheaper lower light headlights. I'm not going to cover those. Princeton Tech, same thing. They make some 300-400 lumen headlights. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to go into like the China stuff from Amazon. I don't think the quality is there. I mean, some of these lights are like $20 for like some 1,000 lumen, headlight or whatever. It's just, in reality, you're not getting what you think you're getting, and I don't think the quality is there. I'm looking at lights where I can say that these things will last, over repeated use. So, without further ado, why don't we go into the lights? Okay, so this light is the Princeton Tech Apex. It's made in the USA with some foreign components. Its max lumens is 650 lumens. The brightness settings are 650 lumens at 1.4 hours. So I guess that would be a little over 1.5 hours. 350 lumens at 2 hours, 70 lumens at 9 hours. It features a red light, so if you like headlights with red lights, it has a red light. It uses 4 AA batteries. It is a regulated LED light system. It's waterproof up to IPX7. It uses mostly plastic, it looks like, on the housing material. The weight is 280 grams, and there's no charger with this. It just uses the AA batteries. The price is about $90. Get a close-up of the light housing itself, and I'm going to run through these, turn these on. Okay, you can buy these at PrincetonTech.com or Amazon. So let's go ahead and so that's the face of the light. Okay, there's a main light here and some side lights here. There's 2 buttons on the bottom. So one's got these knobs, you can press that, and that gives you the red lights, and it dims them, and you get a strobe. So it gives you a couple different settings, kind of a bright to a dim to sort of the SOS strobe. Okay, and then turn that on. Okay, and then your LED. And you got to hold this down to turn them off. So that's your hinge on the light. Buttons on the bottom. It's got a regular headband strap. The cord runs from the front to the back with a couple of clips. This is your battery pack. It does feel a little heavy. How you open it is you turn the knob, and then it releases, and then you've got your battery pack. 4 AA batteries. You put it in. There's a little bit of a gasket inside here. I don't know if you can see that. It's got a gasket here. It is IPX7, so it doesn't mean you can go swimming with it, but at least I wouldn't. But it'll keep you safe from water. So that's the battery pack. So that's this light. I'll show a shot of the Princeton Tech against the wall so you can see how bright it is. Just a couple of features to notate. It's a good light for, you know, a decent budget. It's 90 bucks. Pretty reliable light. So if you're not looking to spend a lot of money, at 90 bucks, you got a pretty decent light for you. It does have the red light, so if you're looking for a red light, then that's also a plus. It's not very bright. You know, the 650 lumens at 1.4 hours is not the brightest. This light, if I took this light reef walking and I go reef walking for about 2 hours, I'd have to change batteries on this thing. So this light would not last a whole session. The downside is that you got to keep changing AA batteries unless you buy rechargeable AA's. Then you can just go ahead and recharge, but otherwise you got to keep changing out the batteries. So we'll go ahead and show the shot of the light against the wall. That's the red light at its brightest. That's the dim. Okay, I'm going to turn on the white. That's the white at its brightest. And that's the lower setting. Okay. Up next we have the Fenix HM65R. So this is one of their brightest headlights that they make. I think they might make one slightly brighter, but this is one of the brightest. It's made in China. Max lumens is what the manufacturer says, 1400 lumens. It accomplishes this by utilizing 2 LED lights. So one is more of a flood with a diffuser, and one of them is more of a spot. So the brightness settings are, for the spot, 1000 lumens. They're rating it at 2 hours, although there is sort of a fine print with that. The rating that they give with this super bright light setting is only good for a certain amount of period, and then it drops down to 400 lumens. So you're not getting 1000 lumens at 2 hours. You're getting 1000 lumens at, you know, for example, say 5-10 minutes, and then it might drop to 400 lumens. It just depends on the circuitry, the regulation, and the heating. So it's not a constant 2 hours. It'll basically step down in voltage and brightness. So the 400 for the spot, the 400 lumen is 22 hours, 130 lumen at 42 hours, and 50 lumen at 97 hours. The flood, 400 lumens at 21 hours, 130 lumens at 50 hours, and 8 lumens at 300 hours. It uses these 2 Cree LED bulbs, like I said. It utilizes a rechargeable 18650 battery. You can recharge it with a USB-C cord. That's the cords that the GoPros and stuff use. So it can use one of those cords. It's got a waterproof protection rating at IPX68. 6 would be your dust proof, 8 would be the waterproof setting. So it offers good protection there. It's made out of a magnesium alloy housing, and it costs about 95 bucks. You can buy this at thefenixstore.com or any other local retailer or online store. Give you a shot of the headband. It's got this perforated headband, and I guess to help keep it cool. A little bit stretchy, but feels nice. Kind of grippy. Kind of got like a rubbery grip. I think these white areas are reflective, so it's got the reflective logo. So no battery pack on the back. Right, everything's here self-contained. You open this up, the battery's in there. There's an O-ring. You can see That's where it goes. Okay, so we'll go ahead and turn this on. Okay. It's brighter, dim. Okay, 2, 3. So 3 settings there. You hold to turn it off. Okay. It's like 4 settings over there. And to achieve that 1400 lumen rating is what they're talking about, you got to turn both of these buggers on. Like that. Okay, you get your flood and your spot. So it is definitely pretty bright, but the downside is you don't get that true 1400 or 1000 lumen rating for that period of time is what they're saying. So just a couple of things, some of my impressions on this light. It's got I don't like dealing with headlights with multiple buttons, you know, because you got to figure out like, okay, this one, that one, to press both. It's a little cumbersome. I don't like the 2-button thing, but if it's your thing, it's your thing. So I mean, you know, other than that, it's a pretty good light. It's got a battery indicator. It kind of shows you what the battery's at. There's a little LED light that kind of tells you what the battery's at. Pretty nice little light for the money. Like I said, the 1000 lumen brightness is not true 1000, or the 14 lumen brightness is not true in terms of you're not going to get a straight 2 hours out of it. It does step down. So let's go ahead and shine this against the wall, and you can see the brightness. Okay. It's the dim. That's the bright. Okay. That's the spot. The dim. There's the bright one, and we're going to turn them both on after this. There you go. Okay. All right, so for this next light, I actually was able to get a hold of a few lights brand new in the box for these reviews. So this is, I'm actually going to be doing the unboxing, and you can see what the light looks like in the packaging and everything, and we'll try them out right out of the box. So this next light is a Lupine, and this is the Neo X4. You can see right there, 900 lumens. That's the box. All Lupines are made in Germany, so they carry a 2-year warranty. That's what it looks like in the box. Okay, so the other lights that I had, I didn't have boxes with them, so I just ran through the lights as I had them. But because I got these basically brand new for this purposes of this review, and I didn't get them like as in I'm owning them and there's somebody gave them to me. It's only for the purpose of the review. So this isn't sponsored by any light company or anything like that. So okay, let's see what else we got here. So this is they call it the Weasel charging cable. That's what that looks like. I'm just gonna lay all this out here so you can see. This is looks like a diffuser. So you can pop that on and it'll diffuse the light, give you a sort of a flood. This is their manual. That's their specs right there. I'll go through that as well. Look at the manual. Nice quality manual. Okay. Some decals. This is a little Allen wrench tool. There's some Allen wrench bolts over here on the sides so you can adjust the tension of the tilt. Okay, so like I said, all Lupines are made in Germany. This is the Neo. Its max lumens is 900. The brightness settings are as follows. So, and I'm going to try and show this as I'm reading. So 900 lumens will give you about an hour and a half. This is the light. Very, very nice and compact, real well made. The button feels real nice. You know, you can adjust the tension on this. It's adjustable on the hinge, the bolts, so it you know, the pivoting. The straps are very comfortable. It's very thick compared to other brands. A lot of other brands, they have like thinner straps. This is Lupine's signature 3.5 amp per hour. They call them the fast click batteries with the battery meter right there. Tells you what percentage the charge is at. And it disconnects, so when you need to change batteries, you just pull on the tab here on the back and it slides right out. You unplug it and you get your freshly charged battery and you pop it back in. Okay, so that's kind of what the light looks like. Nice thick, heavy duty, super heavy duty cord. Very comfortable, these lights. Easy to wear, very light. So, and you got your charger and a diffuser and the Allen wrench. So the ratings, 900 lumens will give you an hour and a half. 700 lumens will give you 2 hours and 15 minutes. 400 lumens, 6.5 hours. 270 lumens, 14 hours. And let's see, I'll stop it there. I mean, there's like other, you know, ratings of 140, 75, but I mean, those are real low. Let's see what else there is in the book. Like I said, they're made in Germany. They come with a 2-year warranty. Lupine they have a host of different options that you can always do. They have upgraded headbands. They have bicycle mounts. So if you do fishing and you also ride a bike to work, you can switch them out and you can mount it on a bike. They have USB adapters. You can use the batteries as power banks. You can charge your battery via USB in addition to the regular household outlet. And they have different diffusers. I think this one also has like green. You know, they got different color diffusers options that you can put on here. The retail for this is about $260. It's you can buy it locally here at lupinelights.hi. I'm sorry, lupinelights.hi on Instagram, and I'll also have the local rep, the Hawaii rep, his email if you're interested in purchasing it locally from the rep down here. So I'll have his email included on the video, or you can get it from the mainland, lupinenorthamerica.com. The weight with the battery is 140 grams. It's got an IPX68 waterproof protection. The IPX6 is for dust, sealed from dust. 8 is the waterproof protection itself. And it's got that, like I said, that rechargeable smart clip battery. All the Lupine lights that use this system, you can upgrade the battery size. So this is what it comes with, but you can go bigger and you can get a huge battery pack that goes in your pocket or jacket. But I wanted to keep these reviews just to battery packs that you wear on your head. It's got 5 programmable light modes, so that means that you can change the way the mode setting is for them. So, you know, you can customize it. It's not whatever the manufacturer gives you. You can make it, you know, how you want to set it up. And it also has a red light feature and that SOS feature. So let me go ahead and turn it on, and you can see how it works. Okay. So this is the first time I'm actually going to I have my hands on the newest Neo. I haven't used this newest one yet. So very nice light, very small, compact. compared to a lot of other lights. A lot of the Lupines are that way. They use a lot of, it's well made. Of course, they're all regulated. You double click it, and that'll get you the white light. And then from there, you click it again, it'll get brighter, brighter, brighter. And then this is, now we're on the red. Back to the white. So this one has red, 1 white, 2 white, 3 white, and then it goes back to the red. So we've got, I guess, 4 modes here, but like I said, you can reprogram this into different light settings. You know, they have, I think, up to 5 different light settings. So what I was initially trying to do was I was trying to hold it down, and that didn't do anything. You gotta double click it, and that puts us on the white. Okay. So 1 click gives us red. Okay. And then the second click will give you white. And let's see what it looks like with the diffuser. Yeah, nice and tight. You can see the diffuser's on. It really gives you more of a flood. So if you want that more wide, you know, I'm gonna take the diffuser off and you can see what I'm talking about. Boom! Super bright light. So why don't we go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and turn the lights off and see what the beam pattern looks like. And this is the lightest setting, the dimmer of this mode. Okay, and I'm gonna go brighter. It's pretty bright. That is, even on that middle setting, that is really bright, man. Nice clean light. Super bright. Okay. That's the red. I don't know if you can see that. It doesn't really, I mean, it's not bright enough to really see what you're doing. So I don't think I wouldn't advise it using that red light for much. It doesn't seem like it's very, you know, bright. But I guess you could use it as some kind of just a light to signal where you're at or whatever. But there we go. That's the Lupine Neo. Okay, and now we've got the Fenix. Another Fenix headlight. This is the HL60R. It's rated at 950 lumens. So this would be another under $100 headlight. So if you've got that budget under $100 or under $80, this is where that would fall. So this is another light I got brand new for the purposes of this review. To go through it, so it'll be sort of an unboxing. That's what the box looks like. It uses a micro USB rechargeable cord. It's got a red light, IPX8 waterproof, aluminum housing, 1860/50 battery rechargeable, of course through that USB cord. There's the lumen ratings, and I'll go through that in a minute. Okay. Limited lifetime warranty. Okay. Check it out. I'm not a big fan of headlights that use the battery pack and the headlight in the front all in one. It just puts so much weight up in the front, but some people may like this. It's not for me. I like my battery pack separated, so it kind of makes the headlamp more balanced versus everything all in one side. So what's included is the headlight. This looks like a top strap. It's a top strap. Looks like it's reflective. You got the micro USB cord. This looks like this would be your back clip where you would attach the top strap to, spare O-ring, and they've got the instruction manual right there on the back. Like all Fenixes, they're made in China. This light is max lumens 950. The lumen ratings are, at 950 lumens you'll get about 48 minutes. 400 lumens you'll get about 3 hours. 150 lumens you'll get about 10 hours. And 50 lumens you'll get 29 hours. This is all reflective here they have here. Okay, it uses a rechargeable 18650 battery, which is inside here. You just unscrew it. The headlight itself is regulated to protect it from overheating. It has a aluminum alloy housing. The weight with battery is about 164 grams. And you can buy it online for about 75 bucks on Amazon. It has a, so to turn this light on, there's nothing on the top and the bottom, as you can see. And of course they have this warning label or that it gets pretty hot. But there's nothing on the top and the bottom. It's on the side. I'm not a big fan of side buttons, you know, because you have to kind of press it this way. I like my button on the top, but it's got it on the side, and it's kind of small. In fact, this right here is your charging port. So if you lift this up, that'll expose the micro USB charging port. The USB charging port actually sticks up higher than the button. So I like my button fairly easy to find. You know, if I'm Ulua fishing and the pole goes off and the fish is running and there's a strike and everything, I don't know about you, but I'm scrambling to find my headlight and trying to put it on and find the button in pitch black darkness. And this button is, you know, I don't know. I'd rather have it right here, dead center, nice and big. This seems to be a little bit more, you know, inconvenient for me. But that's where the button is. That's where your charging port is, right there. And that's the button. You can see how the charging port is higher than the button, which I don't know why they would do that, but and the button is kind of small. It's maybe like 50% the size of a penny. Okay, so we'll go ahead and turn this thing on. Now that you know what it looks like, see what the beam looks like and everything. Okay, so you press that side button here. So the first time you press it, this is what they call a battery level indicator. It does include a battery level indicator, and just like the Fenix HP25R, I'm not a big fan of this flashing light sequence indicator stuff, you know, because you got to remember the sequence and where it's at, and it's not exactly very accurate. It's just sort of like a general sort of indicator. So if you hold it down, you'll turn it on. You can see there. That's their, I guess their bright setting, 950 lumen. There's their red light, and I'm not quite sure what you're going to use these red lights for. They're so dim. I mean, you might as well not even have them on there, but I mean, I wouldn't walk with this. I wouldn't be using this to be tying fishing knots or anything or casting. It's just so dim. I'm not sure why you would use these. It's not much of a red light. Okay, so that's the Fenix HL60R. That's what it looks like. It's a little run through. It does seem kind of heavy all in the front because they put everything in the front, but that's just how they do it. So we're going to go ahead and turn this guy on, see what the beam looks like with the lights off. Okay, so this is the Fenix HL60R. That's the low setting. Medium, high. That's their turbo. It's pretty bright. It's more of like a, it's not really like a narrow beam. Seems more like a wider spot for a spotlight. That's what that looks like. That's their red light. I'm gonna go up close to this wall. I mean, so I'm about 6 inches away, and now I'm about 3 feet away, and you can see how dim that is. So now I'm about 4 feet away, and you can't even see it against the wall anymore. I mean, it's just, I don't know why they have these red lights that dim, but that's what this light looks like. Pretty bright. Not bad for a budget light. Okay, this light is the Lupine Belika X4. It's made in Germany, like all Lupines. It's got a max lumen rating of 2100. That's 2100. At 2100, it'll last about an hour and 5 minutes. At 1100 lumens, it'll last 2 hours and 15 minutes. At 300 lumens, it'll last 8 hours. At 180 lumens, it'll last 15 hours. And 50 lumens, 8 hours. They do offer a Belika RX7, which has some even longer run times than that. So this battery pack actually goes like this. I'm sorry, wait. Like this, goes upside down. Okay. So it uses a standard is the 3.5 amp hour rechargeable fast click battery pack. This is like what all the Lupines can mostly use. These battery packs are made so that they just pop right out. That's what they call them, fast clip. So if you carry a spare, you can unplug this and you can get your spare battery pack and just pop it right in, you know, and it's got the battery meter right there. It'll tell you how much juice you got. These are smart core systems. They're pretty sophisticated batteries. It's a regulated light, like all Lupines. The headlight housing itself is made out of aluminum. It's got a button on the bottom, button on the top. Okay. The weight is 180 grams to 250 grams. It can charge either through a USB plug or a regular wall outlet. And plug it into a wall outlet. Comes with a 2-year warranty. You can purchase these through lupinelights.hi on Instagram or lupinenorthamerica.com. These feature a, so this headlight itself is, it uses a removable housing. Like you can just pop this headlight right out. Let me try and get it. Just like that. If you, let's say you have you bicycle to work or whatever, you can put it on a different mount, put it on your bike, put it on your helmet, and then when you want to go fish, you can put it on your headband and go fishing, and it just slides right back in and locks right in, just like that. Okay. This light has the optional heat sink installed on the bottom, which helps to keep the light running cooler and the brightness lasting longer. You get the maximum brightness out of this thing. Okay. What's cool about these lights, I mean, there's a lot of things cool about these lights. You know, the battery packs, you can upgrade to larger battery packs. You can get big ones if you want, but these are they got some medium ones and they got these Goliath ones. So you can really get a lot of juice out of these things. But what's cool about this is it uses these can use a Bluetooth remote to control it. They're programmable, so you can program the different modes and the different brightness settings. So you can kind of customize it. And they have a smartphone app, so you can adjust the settings and the brightness and everything like that just right from your phone. It's pretty amazing. They offer a variety of mounting options like helmet, bicycle mounts, GoPro mounts. And the battery can be used to charge. It can be used like a power bank. So there are ways that you can charge like your cell phone or whatever off of this battery when the headlight is not in use. So the battery serves as a battery for the headlight, but also a portable battery power bank. It's pretty neat. So let's go ahead and turn this on and see how it works. So like I said, there's a button on the bottom, button on the top. So let's go with the bottom first. Okay. So there's a green light. They got a white light in the middle. There's a little bit dimmer white light on top. Red light. Green. So it cycles between sort of this medium and then these three smaller ones. White, red, green. Okay, and that's the bottom button. The top's going to control your big boys on the top. Okay. And the last one turned the bottom light on. I mean, this thing is insanely bright. We'll go, and once again, this whole thing is programmable. So you can have this thing programmed a variety of ways that best suits your needs. So let's go ahead and shine these things on the wall. First setting up, this is more of like a generic floodlight. And now there's our spot. That is super bright. So that's the high spot. Okay, and then just to see what it looks like, I'll run the bottom one. So there's the red, there's the green, and there's the small white. Okay, and that's the flood. So this light offers 3 different colors, red, green, and white, and it offers flood and spot. Okay. Okay, so this is going to be another brand new light that I'm going to be unboxing. This is the Fenix HP25R. This is one of the headlights from Fenix. The lumens is 1,000 lumens max brightness, and this is one of those under $100 headlights. You know, if your budget is $100 and you're looking for something pretty decent, that's where this would fall under that category. It's bright enough to do, you know, what I think most people would need it to do, but if you're a little bit more on the serious side, I mean, you may want something brighter, but not too bad. But this is the packaging, you know, HP 25R. That's some of the specs. Okay, so it's kind of a larger light. I mean, you know, this thing is pretty bulky, at least over here, and this battery pack in the back. Comes with a micro USB charging cable, a couple of small clips, and an O-ring. And the manual is inside the box. So the Fenixes, like all Fenixes, they're made in China. This one has a max of 1,000 lumens and that's the spotlight. So it also has a flood, but I'm not going to really go into that. But it's got a spotlight of 1,000 lumens at 1 hour and 30 minutes. The spot at 350 lumens will give you 4.5 hours, and 130 lumens will give you 12 hours. It also has a red light feature. Okay, it uses a 8650 rechargeable battery in here. or you can use two CR123A batteries. It is a regulated light to help with heat protection. It's waterproof, rated up to IPX6. The aluminum housing, it's got an aluminum alloy housing here. The weight with the battery is about 225 grams. It's got a lifetime warranty, and it's priced right around $85. You can buy these on Amazon. It says it comes with a battery level indicator, but it's not exactly very great. It doesn't give you very accurate range. Basically, the range it tells you is like 70 to 100, 70 to 40, and 30 to 0%. So I mean, like, you don't really know where the battery's at. You know, it could be 50, 60%, could be 80%, 70%, but it's a 30% interval range. So I don't know. I wouldn't exactly count on that. The only issue I have with some of these Fenixes that use that aluminum alloy is this thing corrodes kind of easily. I don't know what it is, if it's just their processing or what, but I find that the heads themselves, they get a lot of corrosion. But so we'll go ahead, and that's what the battery pack looks like. You can unscrew this battery here, and the rechargeable battery will be in there, right there. There's the O-ring. They give you a spare O-ring just in case. I do find that these Fenix bands, they do stretch out a lot. I don't know if it's just the material, maybe because it's thinner, but it does stretch out. I end up having to tape them and zip tie them and stuff like that. So we're going to turn the light on. So there's two buttons. I'm not a fan of two buttons. I like one button, but this one's got two buttons. You can see here. So one is for the flood, which is right there, and the other is for the spot. Okay. Let's turn it on. So that's the red light. I don't know what you'd use that for. It's super dim. I don't know. I would definitely not be counting on that to walk. Very dim. It almost just looks like an indicator light. Now it blinks. So if you just click it, only the red light. So if I hold it, that gives us the flood. It's a pretty bright flood. So there's the first setting, second, third, 4. So 4 lights on the flood. The flood, according to the box, this is the high right here, 350 lumens. It'll get you 2.5 hours. The low, which is right there, will give you, that's 30 lumens, will give you 40 hours. And the mid, which is 130 lumens, will give you 9 hours. Hold it down to turn it off. Now we're going to move on to the spot. You can see here a lot larger LED in there. They use some Cree LEDs. They said they're rated for like 50,000 hours. Okay, so I believe that's the battery indicator right there. So the sequence that it flashes is what tells you what percentage the battery's at. So that's why I don't really like this kind of a battery indicator. You got to remember whatever sequence it is, if it's red, white, whatever. But hold down. Okay, so those are dim. One more up. One more click. And that's what they call their turbo. So if you just click it once, you get that battery indicator, which is supposed to tell you, like, you know, if it flashes so many, it's either going to be 70 to 100%, 70 to 40%, or like 30% to, you know, low, which is like 0. Okay, so overall, I mean, it's a good budget light if you're looking for something that's not going to break the bank. The head is a little bulky. Battery pack on the back is a little bulky. over time in Hawaii with our salt air, some of these Fenixes that use their aluminum alloy does get the corrosion over here. And I noticed the headbands do sort of get stretched out. So sometimes guys, they just buy new headbands and replace them, or they figure out a way to keep them from stretching out with tape or zip ties or whatever. So that's the Fenix HP 25R. Max lumens 1000. Like I said, it's 85 bucks at Amazon if you're interested in picking this up. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at what it looks like when the lights are off and see what the beam looks like. Okay, so this is the Fenix HP 25R. So that's the low setting. That's the one higher up from that. I guess you call it the middle. That's the high. That's their turbo. It's pretty bright. That's the 1000 lumens is what they rated at. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and that's their flood. Low, medium, high, and I guess this is their bright turbo. And I'm gonna, just so you can see how dim the red light is, I'm turning on the red light. And I mean, it's, I don't know what you'd use this for. You know, it's so dim. Like I'm literally, like what you're looking at is probably 2 inches away. This is about maybe 1.5 feet away, and you can barely see what I'm shining it at. So I don't know why you'd need this red light. It's just so dim. But yep, that's the Fenix HP 25. Okay. Now, this is the Lupine Pico model. Now, this is the slightly older one. They came out with a newer one that's a little brighter, but this is my personal light. So it's not going to be like, if you go online, some of the newer ones might look a little different. I think they changed the size of this. They made them slightly brighter. They also have some Bluetooth options. So, but we're just going to go through this light. So, the Lupines are all made in Germany. They all have a 2-year warranty. It's, if you have the older model, I think they have like a 1700 lumen rating, up to 1900 lumens for the newer ones. The brightness settings are 1800 lumens, 1 hour and 15 minutes, 950 lumens, 2 hours and 30 minutes, 650 lumens, 4 hours, 350 lumens at 8 hours, and 170 lumens at 15 hours. Get a look at the battery pack there. These are regulated lights. The good thing, they use a rechargeable battery system. This is what they call their fast click batteries. It's a 3.5 ampere hour battery pack. It's got a meter to tell you what the charge is at. Let me see if I can get that to come up. There you go. So right now my battery is charged at 100%. You just push the button and it tells you what it's charged at. You can upgrade these to larger batteries. You can get a pretty good sized battery that you can put in your pocket and it'll last a long time. The batteries charge via, you unplug this. They charge, they come with a plug, it charges right in your home outlet, or they have a USB adapter that you can plug into any kind of a outlet that takes a USB outlet. They also double to serve as a power bank. So with that USB adapter, you can plug that into something and use this as a power bank to charge your cell phone or something. The light with battery is about 180 grams. It comes with a 2-year warranty. The housing is made out of CNC aluminum. The starting price online is about $335. So they are a little bit more expensive than the competitor, the other lights, but you do get a little bit more with these lights, a little bit better quality. You can purchase these lights through if you go on Instagram and message lupinelights.hi, or you can go online to lupinenorthamerica.com to purchase. The Instagram lupinelights.hi is a local rep, so you can get it locally. Some of the good things about this light is it has mounts for helmets, bikes. You can charge it via a USB or a regular house outlet. You can use it as a power bank. It has other things like like on my light, I installed this optional heat sink. It helps to keep the headlight cooler running, so that way you can have it on the brighter settings longer and preserve battery life. You can upgrade the headband. So this is the headband. This is like the stock headband that it comes with. You can go ahead and get a headband that looks like this, and it's super comfortable, very beefy, and it will not stretch out. Very easy to adjust. It will not stretch out. So I'll cover this light later. A lot of these newer Lupine lights can be synced via Bluetooth using a cell phone app. They also come with Bluetooth remotes. You can turn your lights on with Bluetooth remotes that go on your wrist. And yeah, and then you got the option to run a larger battery pack. So why don't we go ahead and turn this bugger on and you can see how it works. The cool thing about these lights is that their light modes are programmable. So you can actually program when it turns on the settings that you want it to cycle through. You know, a lot of headlights are like, you know, bright, medium, low. You can do bright, brighter, light, you know, whatever. You can program it. You can actually customize the settings on this thing. So it's only got one button. You don't have to mess with two buttons. It's got two big LED lights in the front. You just hold it down and press it. So I have mine programmed to be on I programmed mine so when I turn it on, it starts off at the dim setting. Okay, and then I press it once, it goes brighter. Press it again, it goes brighter. Press it again, it gets even brighter. Okay, so I have mine set up for a 4-cycle mode. So low, medium, high, higher, or highest or whatever. So you can do 3, you can do 5, whatever you want to do, but you can do multiple modes. It does have the regular flashing SOS mode as well. So why don't we go ahead and turn this on against the wall and you see what it looks like. Okay, so this is the dimmest setting right here. And you can see how bright this thing is. Okay, so that's the dim setting. That is my medium setting. That is the high setting, and that's crazy bright. And this is the highest setting. And you can just see how bright that thing is. I mean, I can't even explain how bright that thing is. It's crazy. It really is bright. So that's the high setting. Nice white light, nice and bright. Okay, so this next light, it's a new one. It just came out. This is the Lupine Penta, they call it. Like all Lupines, they're made in Germany. This one is kind of unique because it does not have a battery pack anywhere but on the headlight itself. It has the battery right there. So it's very lightweight, very compact. It doesn't, obviously it doesn't have a top strap here, but I think you can always add one. But its max lumens is 1100 in boost mode. It's got 600 lumen at about 1 hour. It's got 340 lumens at 2.5 hours. 120 lumens at 6 hours 45 minutes, and 55 lumens at 19 hours. Okay, pretty simple. With 2 buttons on the top, 2 settings, and I'll run through them. Yeah, pretty simple, easy to use. And then right here is where you would plug in the USB-C cord to charge it. It's got a self-contained 1.8 amp hour battery on the light. It's got an IPX68 rating. It's made out of aluminum housing. It weighs with the battery 110 grams. Got a 2-year warranty. The price is about $195, and you can get the Lupine lights on Instagram at lupinelights.hi or lupinenorthamerica.com. Okay, so some of the things about this light's extremely lightweight. There's no rear battery pack. It's very bright for its size. So nice little light. It's not extremely bright like some of the other models, but pretty neat looking light. But so this is, I think this is one of the newer ones that came out. So let's go ahead and run this. So they got 2 buttons here. Okay. There's the red light. So it goes. This one's set up for 4 brightness settings, and it's a pretty bright red light. It's rated at 220 lumens. That's pretty bright. Okay, and then this is your white light. It's pretty bright. 4 settings there. And one automatically turns off the other. Okay, pretty nice little light. And it features, like, a lot of these lights feature lockout options, so you can hold it down and that way your light doesn't activate in your backpack or whatever. So why don't we go ahead and we're going to put this up against the wall and check the brightness. You can see what the beam looks like. That's a pretty bright red light. That's one of the brighter red lights that I've seen. I mean, it's really bright. It's more of a sort of a flood. Really just like, you know, if you're walking or you're a hunter and you're, you know, you need that kind of flood beam to see where you're going. That's perfect. Okay. That's low. It's pretty bright. I mean, this thing really is bright for the size and everything. It's pretty amazing for how compact it is, but that's the brightest setting right there. Okay, so this headlight, I wasn't able to get it locally, and I didn't have enough time to pick it up online. I was going to just buy one online and bring it in, but just because of timing and stuff, I couldn't get a hold of it. But I wanted to just have one more brand in there that had some lumen ratings over 500-600 lumens, just to see what's out there. I didn't actually ever use this light. A lot of the other lights that I reviewed, I physically have used either that particular brands in the past. I've owned them. I have friends that own them, you know, so there's some experience there. Definitely with the Lupine, the Fenixes, the Princeton Tech, I own all of those brand headlights, so I can speak for those. This one, I don't own this one, but it's a Coast. I think the model is HL8R. It's a max lumen of 800 lumens. It's one of the brighter ones that Coast makes. Its brightness settings is 700 lumens at
1 hour and 45 minutes, 245 lumens at 8 hours and 30 minutes, and 50 lumens at 47 hours. It uses just 4 AA batteries, or you can use an optional rechargeable battery pack that will be separate. It's got a metal housing, lifetime warranty. The price is about $116. You can get it online at Amazon or other retailers. It's kind of interesting. It does have a sort of a lens that you can adjust the focus, so you can change between a flood and a spot. So you can, it has like a lens with a little magnifying glass that you can twist it, and it changes the light pattern or scattering from between a spot or a flood. You can make it wider or more narrow. That light control knob. When I did some research about this light, like I said, I've never used it, so I just went online and did some research. I looked at Amazon reviews. I looked at some other online reviews. I guess there's been some complaints with the Coasts using them after several months. Either the light would not work, or it wouldn't be as bright. Something was going on where it just wouldn't be as bright as when they first got it. So there seemed to be another number of complaints. The Coasts, I couldn't really get too much information on them. I couldn't even find out what country they're made in. It didn't really have a whole lot of other specs. I mean, not in detailed specs that I could look up. It seems sort of generic and vague. I wouldn't say the Coast headlights are top quality, hardcore fisherman, something you'd want to get. It might be something, maybe for a beginner or somebody who doesn't want to spend a lot of money, or maybe you don't go fishing that much and you just needed a headlight just to use. But I don't know if this would be a go-to headlight for fishing some 100-foot cliff on the Big Island of Hawaii. So it's an option out there, but at $115, I would think that the Princeton Tech or the Fenixes might fare better if that's what your budget is. So that's the Coast. Sorry, I don't have any unboxing, or I don't have any actual shots of it. So I'm just using this default image that I found online. But that's what I was able to get. I couldn't get one. I checked a couple of fishing stores down here. I know some of the Coasts, they sell like at some of the hardware stores. I checked the hardware store. I couldn't find it down here. I was going to grab it and use it for the purposes of the review, but I couldn't get it. So Coast does make a lot of other headlights, but they're not as bright. They're like 150 lumens, 200 lumens. They're a lot lower on the brightness scale, and I didn't think they would they would relatively compare to the other brands and models that I'm looking at in this review. Okay.